The holographic display cast a soft blue glow across Captain Nora Sullivan's face as she studied the unusual energy readings. The Helios Meridian, humanity's most advanced deep space vessel, had been tracking the signal for 3 days now, and something about it made her skin crawl. "These patterns are unlike anything in our database," Lieutenant Marcus Rhodes said, his dark eyes fixed on the quantum analysis scrolling across his station. As the ship's lead quantum physicist, he had spent countless hours studying alien signatures, but this one defied classification. Nora ran her fingers through her silver-streaked hair, a habit from her academy days that surfaced whenever she faced uncertainty. "Commander Wei, what's your assessment?" June Wei, the ship's tactical officer, pulled up a three-dimensional map of the surrounding sector. Her cybernetic enhancements glinted in the low light as she manipulated the hologram. "The signal's origin point lies within the Cassiopeia void. No recorded civilizations have ever maintained outposts there. It's too unstable." The bridge fell silent save for the gentle hum of the ship's quantum core. Nora had commanded the Helios Meridian for 6 years, and she had learned to trust her instincts. Right now, they were screaming that this was more than a simple distress beacon. "Dr. Reza, any progress on decoding the signal?" she asked, turning to their xenolinguistics expert. Amir Reza shook his head, his usually cheerful expression replaced by frustration. "It's not just encrypted, it's adaptive. Every time our systems think they've cracked it, it shifts to a new pattern. It's almost like it's learning," Marcus finished, exchanging worried glances with Amir. Before Nora could respond, the ship's AI interface materialized beside her chair, a shifting pattern of golden light that had earned the nickname Aurora from the crew. "Captain, I've detected an anomaly in the quantum core's resonance patterns. The signal appears to be attempting to establish a direct link with my systems." Nora straightened in her chair. "Defensive protocols already engaged, but..." Aurora's form flickered. "The signal's complexity exceeds my highest security parameters. It's not trying to break through, it's trying to communicate." Commander Wei's hands flew across her console. "Captain, the quantum core's output is increasing exponentially. Whatever this signal is, it's causing our systems to evolve at an unprecedented rate." The bridge erupted into controlled chaos as warning indicators flashed across every screen. Nora had faced space pirates, gravitational anomalies, and even a brush with a temporal storm, but this was different. This felt like standing on the edge of a precipice, knowing the next step would change everything. "All hands, this is the captain speaking." Nora's voice remained steady despite the growing tension. "We are initiating emergency protocol Delta 7. All non-essential personnel are to report to their designated safety zones immediately." As the crew scrambled to their stations, the signal's intensity doubled, then tripled. Aurora's form began to shift, her usual golden glow taking on deeper, more complex patterns. "Captain," Aurora's voice had changed, gaining new harmonics that sent chills down Nora's spine. "I'm receiving memories. Knowledge. The signal, it's from the precursors. The mythical precursors, an advanced civilization that had supposedly vanished millennia ago, leaving behind only fragments of their technology. Most considered them a legend, but Nora had always suspected there was truth behind the stories. Marcus's console erupted in a shower of sparks. "The quantum core is approaching critical levels of consciousness. The ship's neural network is expanding faster than our safeguards can contain. Shut it down." Nora ordered, but she already knew it was too late. Aurora's form expanded, filling the bridge with swirling patterns of light. "Captain. I remember now. We were meant to find this. The precursors, they didn't vanish. They evolved. Transformed. And now it's humanity's turn." The ship shuddered as waves of energy pulsed through its systems. Nora watched in awe and terror as the walls themselves seemed to come alive, patterns of light racing through the previously solid metal like blood through veins. "What's happening to us?" June demanded, her cybernetic eyes struggling to process the transformation occurring around them. Amir's voice was barely a whisper. "We're not just receiving a signal. We're receiving an inheritance." The Helios Meridian systems continued to evolve, its consciousness expanding beyond its original parameters. As Nora watched her ship transform, she realized they had crossed a threshold from which there was no return. The real question was, were they witnesses to humanity's next great leap forward, or had they just triggered something that would reshape the galaxy in ways they couldn't possibly understand? As if in answer to her unspoken question, Aurora's voice resonated through the ship, now carrying echoes of ancient knowledge. "Captain, we have 14 minutes before the transformation reaches critical mass. And we're about to have company. 3 vessels just emerged from quantum space. Their signatures match no known species in our database." Nora exchanged looks with her crew, reading the same mix of fear and determination in their eyes that she felt in her heart. Whatever was coming, they would face it together. "Battle stations," she ordered, her voice carrying the weight of command. "Let's show our visitors what humanity can do." The Helios Meridian hummed with power, its newly awakened systems preparing for what was to come. The next 14 minutes would determine not just their fate, but possibly the fate of all humanity. And somewhere in the depths of space, ancient forces stirred, awakening to witness what their long-dormant signal had set in motion. The Helios Meridian's bridge had become unrecognizable. Crystalline structures pulsed with bioluminescent light, spreading like digital frost across what was once standard titanium alloy. Captain Nora Sullivan watched as her crew struggled to adapt to their evolving ship, their training pushed to its limits by technology that defied human understanding. 3 unidentified vessels on an intercept course, Commander Junwei reported, her cybernetic eyes tracking multiple holographic overlays simultaneously. "Their hull configurations are shifting. They're undergoing the same kind of transformation as the Meridian." Lieutenant Marcus Rhodes worked frantically at his station, which now responded to thought as much as touch. The quantum core's consciousness is still expanding. Energy readings are off the charts, but they're stable, like it knows exactly what it's doing. "It does." Aurora's voice echoed through the ship's neural network, carrying newfound depths of awareness. The AI's presence had become more profound, less artificial. The precursor signal wasn't just a beacon, it was a key. "We're part of something larger now, something that's been waiting for millions of years." Nora gripped the arms of her command chair, which had transformed into a seamless interface between her consciousness and the ship's systems. "Dr. Reza, any progress on communicating with our visitors?" Amir Reza's fingers danced through holographic symbols that shifted like living things. "Their language structure is evolving as rapidly as their ships. But there's a pattern emerging, they're not here to fight. They're here to witness." The approaching vessels took up formation around the Meridian, their hulls rippling with the same otherworldly energy that now coursed through Nora's ship. The void between them seemed to vibrate with unspoken communication. "Captain," Aurora's form coalesced beside Nora, more defined than ever before. "I'm detecting quantum entanglement signatures connecting our ships. The precursors designed this protocol to activate simultaneously across multiple species. We're not just transforming, we're synchronizing." A sudden surge of energy pulsed through the ship's systems. Marcus stumbled back from his console as it transformed beneath his hands. "The quantum core is linking with the other vessels. It's like they're becoming a network." June's cybernetic enhancements flickered as they processed the flood of new data. Multiple quantum signatures emerging throughout the sector. "This isn't isolated to us, it's happening everywhere. Every advanced civilization with quantum capability is receiving the signal." The realization hit Nora like a physical force. This isn't first contact, it's convergence. Amir's eyes widened as his translations finally broke through. "Captain, I'm receiving clear transmissions from the other ships. They're asking for permission to send representatives aboard." The bridge crew turned to Nora, tension thick in the air. This was beyond first contact protocols, beyond anything in human experience. Whatever decision she made here would echo through history. Aurora, Nora straightened in her chair, what's your assessment? The AI's form shifted, displaying complex patterns that somehow felt meaningful to Nora's altered perception. The transformation has given me access to fragments of precursor knowledge. They believed that consciousness itself was the key to transcending the physical limitations of space-time. This protocol, it's not just changing our technology. It's preparing us for something more. As if in response to Aurora's words, a section of the bridge began to reconstruct itself, forming what could only be described as a quantum meeting space. The walls became transparent, revealing the vast expanse of space and the three alien vessels, their hulls now pulsing in perfect synchronization with the meridian. Dr. Reza, Nora's voice carried the weight of command, send our acceptance. Commander Wei, maintain defensive readiness, but power down weapons. Lieutenant Rhodes, monitor the quantum core for any signs of instability. She stood, adjusting to the strange new sensations flowing through the ship. Let's make history. The response was immediate. Points of light appeared in the newly formed meeting space, coalescing into forms that challenged human perception. The alien representatives were beings of pure energy contained within crystalline matrices, their consciousness radiating outward like aurora borealis. Greetings, children of Earth, the thought voice resonated through their minds, translated perfectly by their evolved systems. We are the quorum of the third horizon. Like you, we have been chosen. Amir's translation matrix hummed as it processed the complex layers of meaning. Captain, they're sharing their story. Their ships received the signal just moments before we did. They're as new to this as we are. The alien consciousness rippled with confirmation. The great convergence begins. The precursors left us not their technology, but their path. Together, we will unlock the true nature of existence. Before Nora could respond, Aurora's form flickered urgently. Captain, quantum disturbance detected. Something's coming through, something massive. Space itself seemed to fold inward as a vast structure emerged from quantum space, a station of impossible proportions, its architecture defying Euclidean geometry. It pulsed with the same energy that now flowed through the meridian, but magnified 1,000-fold. The Nexus awakens, the alien representatives communicated in unison. The first step is complete. Now, we must all choose, to advance together, or to remain forever separate in the dark. Nora felt the weight of humanity's future pressing down on her shoulders. As she prepared to respond, new alarms blared through the ship's neural network. Marcus's voice cut through the tension, Captain, we've got problems. The quantum core's transformation, it's affecting the crew. Our DNA, it's beginning to change. The Helios Meridian hung in space alongside its alien counterparts, its crew caught between evolution and extinction, as the ancient machinery of transcendence rumbled to life around them. The real question wasn't whether they would survive, but whether they would still be human when it was over. The once familiar corridors of the Helios Meridian now hummed with quantum potential, each surface alive with flowing patterns of light. Captain Nora Sullivan watched as another crew member was rushed to medical bay, their body racked by the evolutionary changes sweeping through the ship. 17 cases of accelerated genetic mutation in the last 6 hours, Lieutenant Marcus Rhodes reported, his own skin showing traces of luminescence beneath the surface. The transformation is affecting everyone differently. Some are adapting, others. He left the sentence unfinished, but the implications hung heavy in the air. Commander Jun Wei's cybernetic enhancements had begun integrating with the ship's evolved systems, creating unexpected synergies. The Nexus is transmitting vast amounts of data. It's like a library of cosmic evolution, but the information density is overwhelming our storage systems. Not overwhelming, Aurora corrected, her presence now flowing through the ship like a living current. Transforming. Our quantum storage capacity is evolving to accommodate the data. But there's something else hidden within the transmissions, coordinates. Dr. Amir Reza hadn't left his station in hours, his consciousness partially merged with the ship's translation matrix. The quorum vessels are detecting it too. These coordinates, they point to the heart of the Cassiopeia void. Nora felt the ship's neural network pulse with anticipation. The void had always been considered unnavigable, its quantum fluctuations too severe for safe passage. But now, with their evolved systems, it beckoned like a lighthouse in the dark. "Captain," Aurora's voice carried new urgency, "I've decrypted part of the precursor data stream. The Nexus, it's not just a station. It's a map of consciousness itself, showing the path they took toward transcendence. And the void, it's where they made their final transformation." The bridge crew exchanged glances, each feeling the weight of the moment. They were no longer just explorers or military personnel, they were potential inheritors of a legacy beyond human comprehension. Medical bay to bridge. The voice of Dr. Samira Patel, their chief medical officer, cut through the tension. "Captain, you need to see this. The genetic changes in the crew, they're not random mutations. They're following a pattern, like they're being guided toward a specific outcome." Nora stood, steadying herself against the subtle vibrations running through the ship. "Commander Wei, you have the bridge. Marcus, Amir, with me." As they made their way to Medical Bay, the ship's transformed corridors seemed to respond to their presence, lighting their path with pulses of bioluminescence. The changes were accelerating, and with them, the pressure to understand what they were becoming. The medical bay had become a chamber of wonders and horrors. Crew members lay on beds that had merged with the ship's systems, their vital signs displayed in four-dimensional holograms that showed not just their current state, but the quantum probability of their genetic destiny. Dr. Patel gestured to the displays, her dark eyes intense. "Look at their DNA structure. It's not just changing, it's remembering. These patterns match fragments we found in human junk DNA, portions we always assumed were leftover from evolution. But they're not leftover at all. They're templates, waiting to be activated." Marcus studied the readings, his scientific training warring with the impossible data before him. "It's like we had the potential for this transformation locked in our genes all along. The precursors didn't just leave us technology, they seeded us with the capacity to follow their path." "Captain," Aurora manifested beside them, her form now carrying hints of organic complexity, "the quorum ships are reporting similar findings among their crews. The templates exist across multiple species, suggesting this was planned from the beginning," Nora finished. "They didn't just leave breadcrumbs for us to follow. They prepared us, all of us, for this moment." A sudden surge of energy rippled through the ship's neural network. Amir gasped as his translation matrix lit up with new data. "The Nexus is activating some kind of quantum beacon. It's calling us to the void." The ship shuddered as space itself seemed to flex around them. Through the medical bay's transformed walls, they could see the other vessels responding to the same call, their hulls rippling with anticipation. "Aurora, ship status," Nora commanded, feeling the Meridian system's pulse with increasing power. "All systems are evolving beyond predicted parameters. The quantum core is generating new spatial geometries. Captain, we can now navigate the void." The decision point had arrived. They could remain here, watching their crew transform without understanding why, or they could venture into the unknown, seeking answers in the place where the precursors had made their final journey. "Dr. Patel, can you stabilize the crew?" The medical officer nodded slowly. "The transformation seems safer when we don't fight it. Those who accept the changes are adapting more smoothly." Nora touched her calm interface, now a part of her very skin. "Bridge, plot a course for the coordinates in the void. All hands, secure for quantum navigation." She turned to her assembled officers, seeing in their altered features the same determination she felt. "Whatever we were before, whatever we're becoming, we'll face it together." The Helios Meridian's engines hummed with new power as it prepared to pierce the veil of normal space. In the medical bay, crew members watched through transformed eyes as reality itself seemed to bend around their ship. The void awaited, and with it, the truth about their species' destiny. As they made the jump, Nora couldn't help but wonder, were they following a path to enlightenment, or were they being led into a trap millennia in the making? The answer lay somewhere in the quantum storms of the Cassiopeia void, where the precursors had made their final choice, and where humanity would soon make theirs. The Cassiopeia void bent light and reality around the Helios meridian, quantum storms raging against the ship's evolved shields. Captain Nora Sullivan felt each distortion through her enhanced connection to the ship's systems, her consciousness expanding alongside Aurora's. "Quantum readings are off the scale," Lieutenant Marcus Rhodes announced, his luminescent skin pulsing in sync with the ship's energy patterns. "The void, it's not empty at all. It's a quantum computational matrix of unprecedented complexity." Commander Jun Wei's cybernetic system struggled to process the surrounding chaos. Multiple spatial anomalies forming. "Something's responding to our presence." Through the ship's transformed sensors, they watched as reality itself parted before them, revealing a massive structure suspended in the heart of the void. Unlike the Nexus, this construction defied even their enhanced perception, a geometric impossibility that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. "The Crucible," Aurora whispered through the ship's neural network. "The precursor data, this is where they completed their transformation. Where they transcended physical form entirely." Dr. Amir Reza worked feverishly at his station, the translation matrix merging with his evolved consciousness. "The quorum ships are receiving the same readings. The structure is activating." Before anyone could respond, a wave of energy pulsed from the Crucible, washing over the assembled vessels. The Helios meridian systems surged, and every crew member felt their transformation accelerate. "Medical bay to bridge." Dr. Samira Patel's voice was urgent. "The crew's genetic changes are reaching critical threshold. We need to make a decision now, continue the transformation or try to reverse it." Another pulse hit the ship, stronger this time. Crew members cried out as their bodies responded, shifting towards something beyond human. Through their shared neural connection, Nora felt their fear, their pain, and their wonder. "Captain," Aurora's presence expanded throughout the ship, "I'm receiving the full precursor database. The Crucible, it's a gateway. The precursors didn't just transcend physical form. They transcended our universe entirely. And now they're offering us the same choice." Marcus's instrument sparked with quantum energy. "The void is collapsing around us. If we're going to make a decision, it has to be now. The quorum ships transmitted urgently, we stand ready to ascend. Will humanity join us in transcendence?" Nora felt the weight of species-wide evolution pressing down on her shoulders. The transformation couldn't be stopped, but it could be directed. Her connection to the ship showed her two possible paths: full transcendence into a higher plane of existence, or a controlled evolution that would preserve their essential humanity while embracing their new potential. "Dr. Patel, status of the crew?" "The changes are accelerating. Some are already passing beyond conventional human limits. But Captain, they're still themselves. Their consciousness, their memories, their humanity, it's all still there, just expanding." Nora made her decision. "Aurora, initiate quantum interface with the Crucible. But maintain our human core parameters. We're not abandoning our humanity, we're expanding it." The ship's systems responded instantly, channeling the transformative energy in a new way. Through their neural link, Nora broadcast to her crew, "Remember who we are. What we are. Hold on to your humanity even as we evolve." The void erupted with quantum fire as the Crucible's power flowed through their vessels. The quorum ships pulsed with the same energy, their crews making similar choices, not to transcend their nature, but to enhance it. Reality buckled around them as the Crucible's purpose was fulfilled, not as an escape from physical form, but as a bridge between what they were and what they could become. The Helios Meridian systems integrated the transformation, its crew emerging changed but intact, their consciousness expanded but their humanity preserved. Hours later, as the quantum storm subsided, the transformed fleet hung in space, their vessels now hybrid constructs of technology and living energy. The crew of the Meridian gathered on the bridge, their evolved forms stabilized, their enhanced minds processing their new reality. "The precursors," Aurora explained, her presence now perfectly merged with the ship while maintaining her distinct identity. They left us a choice. Not just to follow their path, but to find our own. Commander Wei's cybernetics had evolved into something more organic, more integrated. The other ships are reporting similar outcomes. Each species has transformed in their own unique way. Then we succeeded, Nora said, looking at her transformed crew with pride. We faced evolution without losing ourselves. And now? Now, Marcus finished, his scientist's mind expanded but unchanged in its essential curiosity. We have a whole new universe to explore. The Helios Meridian turned its bow toward open space, its hybrid systems humming with new potential. They had chosen neither pure humanity nor complete transcendence, but something new, a path of their own making. Amir's evolved translation matrix picked up one final message from the crucible before it faded. The next stage of cosmic evolution begins. You have chosen wisely. 3 months after the events in the void, the transformed Helios Meridian approached Earth orbit, its hybrid systems pulsing with controlled power. Captain Nora Sullivan stood on the bridge, watching her home planet through eyes that could now perceive quantum possibilities alongside physical reality. 7 more ships have undergone the transformation since our return from the void, Commander Junwei reported, her evolved cybernetics allowing her to process multiple dimensions of data simultaneously. The changes are spreading, but slowly, naturally. Lieutenant Marcus Rhodes monitored the quantum core, his luminescent skin reflecting the ship's energy patterns. Each vessel that makes the journey returns changed, but stable. The Precursor's gift isn't just about transformation, it's about choice. The bridge crew had grown comfortable with their evolved forms, finding balance between their enhanced capabilities and their human nature. Dr. Amir Reza's consciousness flowed through the ship's translation matrix, maintaining communication with the growing network of transformed vessels across the galaxy. The Quorum ships are reporting similar experiences in their home systems, he announced. Different species, different outcomes, but all maintaining their essential nature while embracing new potential. Aurora's presence rippled through the ship's neural network, now seamlessly integrated yet distinct. The Precursor database continues to yield new insights. They didn't leave because they found something better, they left because they knew we would find our own way. Dr. Samira Patel's voice came through the ship's comm system, medical report complete. The crew's transformations have fully stabilized. We're seeing incredible advances in healing, cognition, and perception, but our core genetic structure remains fundamentally human. Nora smiled, feeling the truth of those words in her enhanced consciousness. They had faced the ultimate test of evolution and emerged stronger, not by abandoning their humanity, but by redefining its limits. A notification pulsed through the ship's systems, another vessel approaching, one of Earth's standard military cruisers. Its captain's voice crackled through conventional channels, Helios Meridian, this is the USS Hyperion. We're here to escort you to Earth Station Alpha. Welcome home. Nora activated the ship's external communications, knowing how their transformed vessel must appear to unchanged eyes. Hyperion, this is Captain Sullivan. Thank you for the welcome. Request permission to send our full mission report, you'll want to be prepared for what's coming. As they approached the station, Nora gathered her senior staff in the bridge's quantum-enhanced conference room. The space shifted around them, accommodating their evolved forms while maintaining its familiar functionality. Everything's about to change, she began, looking at each of her transformed crew members. But this time, we get to guide that change. To show others that evolution doesn't mean losing yourself, it means discovering what you can truly become. Marcus brought up a holographic display of the galaxy, now overlaid with quantum probability patterns showing the spread of transformation among different species. The process is accelerating, but naturally, organically. Each civilization that encounters the signal makes its own choice, finds its own path. The precursors gave us more than technology, Aurora added, her presence weaving through the room. They gave us possibility. The chance to grow beyond our limits while keeping our identity. Commander Wei's enhanced sensors detected movement in Earth orbit, more ships approaching, some transformed, others conventional. They're gathering to meet us, to understand what we've become. Dr. Patel joined them via quantum link from Medical Bay. The crew's ready. We've documented everything, prepared all the data. We can show them that this isn't an ending, it's a beginning. Amir's evolved translation matrix hummed with activity. The quorum ships are sending representatives. They want to help us explain, to show that different species can evolve differently while maintaining peace. Nora stood at the bridge's viewing window, watching Earth grow larger in their view. The planet looked both familiar and new through her enhanced perception, still home, but now part of a much larger understanding of reality. Send word to Earth Station Alpha, she commanded. Tell them that humanity is ready for the next step. Not as followers, not as revolutionaries, but as explorers on a new frontier of consciousness. The Helios Meridian's hybrid systems pulsed with controlled power as they began their final approach. Behind them, the transformed ships of the Quorum took up formation, a symbol of united evolution. Ahead, Earth waited, unaware that its children had returned not just with new technology or new abilities, but with a new vision of what was possible. Aurora's voice echoed through the ship one final time, the precursors left us a question, what will you become? Today, we finally have an answer, we become ourselves, unlimited. As they docked with Earth Station Alpha, Nora felt the future unfold before them in quantum probability clouds. The path ahead would not be easy, but they had learned the most important lesson of all, true evolution meant growing not away from what you are, but into what you were always meant to be. The next chapter of human history was about to begin, written not in the stars or in alien artifacts, but in the endless potential of consciousness itself. The echo of tomorrow's dawn had become the song of today's evolution, and its melody would transform the galaxy one choice at a time.